Welcome to my channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I have 3 projects for you, and they're kind of boho inspired. I've been super inspired by boho lately. I don't know why, so you might just be seeing quite a bit of that in my next couple videos. I love it. I don't know whether I'm going to change my decor from farmhouse to boho or just kind of mix it in. I don't know. Anyway, I found this vase or vase, however you want to say it, at Goodwill. And I painted it with white paint, acrylic paint, like household paint, latex acrylic, I'm not even sure. And I just added some baking soda to it. Everybody's doing this new trend. I've been doing it forever. I don't know why people are acting like it's new, but it's not. It's been around for a long time. I was taught to make chalk paint this way years ago. Anyway, I made it extra super thick this time by accident, and I just kept going. So this is my first coat. You can see how thick it is, but I kind of like it. So now I'm going to make some handles for it with this clay. I'm using this DOS air dry clay that I got from, I think I got it from Michael's. And I watch the Lone Fox. Does anybody watch him? I love his channel, and he uses this clay all the time. So now I'm just going to roll out a big long tube, and I'm just using this notebook. I started to use some wax paper, and it just kept messing up on me. So I just grabbed this notebook and started rolling it on that. You can pretty much use anything. It doesn't really make a whole lot of mess. So I just keep rolling. I think I was having a little trouble here because I put a couple pieces together. So that's why it's kind of like breaking apart. But I guess I should have like squished it up more. But I think I end up doing that. So as you can see, I'm just, I keep rolling it longer and longer. And here's what my 2 handles look like. I tried them on for size before I let them harden. And then I put another coat of paint on my vase. Do you guys like how this looks? I love how it turned out. I didn't even sand it that much. I thought the really thick paint made it look extra ceramic. So then, believe it or not, this is before my handles are painted, and I know they look really white right now, but they're not even painted yet. So I'm not quite thrilled the way they dried, so I had to use extra clay to put them on. You see the bumps? But anyway, when I file it down and turn it around, it looks a lot better. And I love how it turned out. So, like I said, I had to use some extra clay on there because the way it dried, it was like away from the vase. So I had to fill it in with some clay. So I'm just going to wrap a piece of sandpaper around my sand block because my sand block is really used up. And then I'm just going to sand it really, really good. And I don't show the full extent of my sanding, but you'll see in a minute my finished project, and I love it. It's not perfect, but that's okay. So project number 2, guys, I was looking on Pinterest and I just got inspired to do a round pillow. So, of course, again, I was thinking about Lone Fox, and he did some pillows with some pom-poms and some tassels. So I just had the idea in my head. I didn't copy or use any of his exact projects, but I just put a few pom-poms on the top. So I have a bunch of this fabric that I bought a long time ago, and it's not really canvas and it's not really drop cloth, but it is kind of that type of fabric. So I use that. That's like my go-to fabric. So I'm just using my hot glue gun, and I left a small hole in the corner. I filled it up with some extra pillows that I had, I think either from Goodwill, or I might have even bought them at IKEA. They were like $1. And I just bought them just for fill, to make other pillows. So now I'm just finishing gluing up my little corner. And what I didn't realize is I should have glued my pom-poms in before I glued my pillow together, because I did have to cut open some spots along the pillow to stick my little pom-poms in there. When I was making my pom-poms, I left the string that I tie around the middle, I left that long so I could somehow attach it to my pillow. And that's where I should have waited, and before I glued my pillow together, I should have stuck those in there. But I didn't. So I had to cut little holes and then stick my pom-poms in. So, as for my project number 3, I love this project. I've been watching this woman. She does mostly all boho. I can't remember the name right now, but I will go look it up and I'll put her name in the description box. Guys, you've got to check her out if you like boho. And her voice is so soothing. I mean, if you don't fall asleep, you'll love her projects. Anyway, just kidding. She did some of these fans. I forget what they're called, leaves, some kind of leaves, fan leaves. So I got the inspiration off her. Now, I've had this roll of this kind of material. I don't even know what I want to call it. You could see it right here. It's in a roll. So I've been dying to use it. So it was really hard to use for this project. But every time I've tried to use it in the past, it just didn't work out. So I'm going to try to use it for this. So what I do is I use my spray adhesive and I glue it to a piece of this brown paper. And then I'm just going to fold it back and forth. Now what I do is I cut out a heart, and then I use half of the heart. I cut it in half and then use half of it for the leaf. Now I did a little different on the second one, but this first one, that's how I did it. And I just start folding it back and forth. Now I use the ruler at first, but then I put the yardstick, to the side, and I just do it by hand. I just go back and forth, you'll see I'm going to flip it over and fold it the other way now. And then I'm just going to keep doing it until it's done. Now for my second one, I just used the plain paper. And you'll see how I do that in a minute. So this is how that one turned out. Not bad. I just don't like the right side of it. See, that should be curved as well. So I don't know why she said do half of a heart. Anyway, I did it different with the second one. I just took the paper just like this, and I just cut a oval, and then I opened it up, and I love the shape of it. I didn't cut it in half. I just left it as is. Then I started with you'll see when I open it up, it's a lot better because it's oval on both sides. I love the shape of this one. So now I'm just going to start my leaf by using the yardstick because I want it to be exactly straight. And she says to do this. She measures. Because she said when she didn't measure, it came out all wonky. So I wanted to make sure mine was straight as well. So then I just keep folding it. I just use my first one as a guide. Back and forth, back and forth. It's just repetitive. And this is how the two of them came out. Now I take two dowels and I glue them right into the middle. And then I kind of push the bottoms together and glue them as well. So it's like open on the top and kind of push together on the bottom. And then I just added a little bouquet that I had on hand. And do you believe these little wheat pieces, I don't know what they look like. These little pieces on the top are from Atlantic City by the beach. They're like real. They're not artificial. So I just love how they turned out. So I hope you guys like it too. Here's my finished project. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Please subscribe and hit that like button. I could really use the support. Have a great week. Merry Christmas.